Alrighty then, g'day, greetings, and welcome. My name is Michael, I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Curse of the Crimson Throne, our Pathfinder 2nd Edition playthrough of this amazing game from Paizo. Joining me today are my wonderful patrons. Look at them, how amazing are they? They're so cool! And we are going to be playing them through this adventure, on this beautiful Sunday evening / Monday morning. G'day guys, how we doing?
Hi.
Hey,
Yay! Okay,
doing great.
There we go. Everyone's just a little soft, but I'll up that up in. Yeah, it's really exciting to get to play with you guys again. I know we had to miss out, I think, last week, so we're gonna get into recap mode. But it's fine because we're about to start a new little side quest here, which is always the best, I think, time to take a break, between those sorts of moments. But before we get into that, let's of course take a moment to quickly thank our sponsors, guys. These sponsors help us keep the channel alive and continue to do stuff, so be sure to go and check these guys out. First of all, we like to thank Hero Forge for the wonderful art you can see on screen now. As I've been liking to say very recently, with COVID restrictions somewhat becoming looser and tables starting to reform once again in the real world meat space, it's a great way to start your TTRPG adventures in person with your own Hero Forge mini. So consider going over to this awesome and amazing site and ordering yourself some really cool minis to have around your table. We also want to give a quick shout out to Sirenscape for the wonderful sounds that you can hear throughout the adventure, and of course Fantasy Grounds for our VTT of choice. If you make any Fantasy Grounds purchases, consider using our cool little affiliate link there, because then that tells the people at Fantasy Grounds, like, hey, this Dead Aussie Gamer guy, he kind of uses our stuff, yeah. And then maybe, I don't know, I get more adventures to play with you guys or things. I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but, that's the thing. But yeah, and of course, guys, there is also one super important sponsor for my channel, and that is you guys in the audience. Thank you so much for being here and donating your time. There are a number of ways that you're going to get to interact with the adventure as we play, but we'll talk about that after we meet the wonderful characters for today's session, starting with none other than Padrick the Gunslinger, played by our wonderful Twiff. Hi, Twiff.
Hello. Yes, I am Padrick Perdita. I am a gunslinger. I am a half-elf. I was raised as if I were fully human, and didn't really find out that I was a half-elf until it came out that I was framed for murder by Gadrin Lamb, which got me kicked out of college. I was going to go to the academy and learn to be a wizard. Got me kicked out of my family. Neither my father nor my mother were an elf. My father was not really happy about my existence after that, and I was unceremoniously disinherited and tossed. I've got my vengeance on Gadrin Land twice now. Got his son in our sights too. If we ever find that guy, I know we took out his little base
Crony.
of operations, but we didn't actually get the necromancer. So and now we're just hanging with these guys and taking help for the city as it comes our way.
Fantastic. Next up on our amazing cast list is none other than the infamous Malakisa, playing the role of Holly, the fairy rogue.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm going super well. Tell us a little bit about Holly.
Holly is a fairy noble who spent way too much time reading adventure novels as opposed to studying. So when her parents decided that they needed to marry her off, she decided that she was going to go into the real world and get away from her family for a while. So she has jumped into the real world and found these wonderful people. And she had some rough times at the beginning, but she is entirely certain that this is working out exactly the way an adventure novel is supposed to be. She knows that we are the good guys and the bad guys are going to get what's coming to them. And she is firmly of this belief. And with her, as always, is her wonderful husky mount, Penny.
All right. Absolutely awesome. Okay, next on our list of amazing cast members, we have the incredible Ire Janasi playing the investigator, Quinn. Hi, Ire. How you doing?
Hey, Michael. Happy Monday. How are you?
I am doing absolutely splendidly, thank you. Now that I get to hang out with such cool people, tell us
Excellent.
about Quinn.
Quinn is, as you say, of the investigator class, and she is a native to the city of Korvosa, has her own investigative agency, and has hooked up with this fine group of fellows in pursuit of Gator and Lamb originally, and on other madcap adventures, looking for corpse bits afterwards. Who knows what's going to happen next? Well, I guess
I
you
know.
do.
This is just the
You
start of
know.
the adventure, and we're hunting around for people's body parts. I mean, ugh, yeah. Well, there's definitely some stuff to be said about what's coming up next. Unfortunately, not joining us today, we do not have no bad. Stop it. I can hear you, Holly, but the only person that can understand you when you're using your other language is you. No. Uh, next up, of course, is Fido, who is our automaton ranger and their companion, who are currently unavailable. I believe they're at a Renaissance fair. So, Chad, who is the player for Fido, we wish you all the best. We hope that you're having a great time. Yeah. We hope that you return and get to join on the epic adventures as they continue. Last but certainly not least is the wonderful Dante. Yay! Hello. Oh yes, Dante is not on voice chat because Dante is nursing a cold, and ironically, Malakisar is also not on camera because Malakisar is also not feeling phenomenally well. So that's why all of the stuff at the moment. But Dante is, of course, a Kitsune druid who lives and resides around the town. Rykon, use the Fantasy Grounds chat if you can, just so that we can have your chat on screen. Yay, there we go. So yes, and he is currently looking into a series of drug trafficking trades within the city after a friend of his had succumbed to the drug industry, and yeah, that's what Dante is up to. So we hope that Rykon will feel better, and we thank him for still donating his time despite feeling a bit under the weather. Same with Malakisar as well. We all appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here on for this game. All right, now, guys, as you can see on chat right there are a number of ways that you can influence the game over the course of the adventure. If you want to, you can simply watch the show and enjoy it and earn channel points, which you can then reclaim in order to give boosts, buffs, or even hinder our players as they go through. There are lots of things like insight bonuses, group inspiration, and more that you can use to give them a leg up. Or alternatively, you can have wandering NPCs show up, or even wandering boss monsters. We had that a wandering boss monster show up in our Sirens and Silver game, which turned a pretty deadly trap into a pretty deadly trap with zombies. So, there's that. This is how it works. In addition, guys, if you feel like sponsoring and donating to the channel as well, then consider the monetary rewards. We have $5 for one of these little red markers there, which is our Jinx points. Our hero points. Alternatively, you can spend $5 to give me Jinx points. These can be used to stave off death, petition the GM for stuff, or roll with advantage on things. For $10, I will draw 3 cards from my random deck of plot twists. And you get to pick one, which immediately comes into play, because that's how that works. Never doubt an insight bonus at the right time. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Then we have our $20 reward, which is a natural 20 for the player of your choice, or the GM. Just saying. Put that out there. Then for $50, we get a boss buff. That means a substantial increase to the boss's strength and a special reward that will be given should that boss be defeated, or a magic item to a player of your choice. Lastly, we have the secret menu item. This is a $100 reward, and for such a heavy and hefty and wonderful reward, For this particular game, or at least for today, the secret menu item is going to be an NPC designed of your choice inserted into the campaign. It will become a point of reference for the character, and you can decide whether they'll be a nemesis or an ally, someone who gives them supplies and things like that. We already have one person in that group at the moment, but yeah, if you want to consider that kind of donation, they are up for grabs as well. Okay, who's ready to get started?
Me.
Yay! There we go. All right, so without any further ado, thank you, Raikon. Let's go. Okay, now, recently our heroes were tasked by Thousand Bones, an old shaman from the Skull clan of the Shoanti barbarians, to try and locate and recover the body of his grandson, a warrior who had come on a peaceful diplomatic mission to the city, but was caught up in the riots from a few nights ago. Unfortunately, he lost his life, but more to the point, his body was never recovered. This was a huge taboo within the barbarian culture, and should his body not be returned, a war could be brewing among the tribes of the Shoanti and the city. Cressida Croft, the town's local commander of the guard, had apparently been running too thin with her guards. With everything happening with the riots, the death of the king, which has incited rebellion here and there within the city, the guards have been spending all of their time trying to keep everything in check. They did not have the resources to look into this. Thankfully, however, having been deputized, our lovely heroes were asked to take care of matters and see if they could find out what happened to the body of the Shoanti barbarian, Gaken, I think his name was, and return it if they could. After finding out that a greedy grave digger who had sold the body to a necromancer in the Dead Warrens, after finding this out, you decided to delve deep into the catacombs, battle against sordid undead, horrible monstrosities, mutated ogres, and more. But thankfully, you eventually managed to piece together the missing parts, which were being used in some sort of macabre construct, being made by none other than Rolf Lamb, the son to the infamous Gadrin Lamb, a villain who had been running a crime racket here in the city, whose reign of terror was ended by our heroes who had confronted and killed him earlier. But that was not the end of Gadrin Lamb either, as his son Rolf, who dabbled in both necromancy and construct making, had transformed his own father into a horrible monstrosity, which our heroes managed to defeat as well. After returning with the body and with thanks from a grateful Shoanti shaman, the group had earned a very, very well-deserved rest. Overnight, they went about their businesses. Patrick, I believe you decided to spend your time crafting a mixture of concoctions and preparing yourself for the next grand adventure. Holly, what would you say you would have done overnight? Just kind of rested, recuperated, or anything specific?
Holly was going to be recuperating for sure, and double checking her crossbow because it took a fair bit of damage, partially due to her own actions of throwing it.
Yep.
So she's fixing the crossbow and doing some other stuff like that.
Yep, brilliant. Maintenance over your equipment, your gear.
And taking a bath and doing her laundry and making sure everything is very clean.
Yep, that sounds about right. Everything kind of has that kind of grave dirt smell about it, so having a good shower is probably a good idea. Fighter probably is also giving you a bit of a hand with your crossbow alignment, just sort of helping you with this piece of technology. Quinn, what about yourself?
I would have also done all of this sort of, executive life functions that you do to keep your life on track.
Mm-hmm.
Checked in my office, followed up with my friend Birgitta and her daughter Charlotte to see how they were doing and how she was faring after her return from her stay with Gadrin Lamb and that sort of thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yep, not a problem there. For the most part, They are okay, a little bit shaken, but grateful to have Charlotte back, and very grateful to you. They'll even prepare you some like little boxed lunches and stuff like that to like take home with you. If you come and visit them. Dante, what about yourself? Also, don't feel obliged to wait to type in your responses if you want. Rykon as well. Dante would be recuperating and figuring out more of his connections to nature. All right, very well. You find that your connections to nature while you're in the city are naturally weaker. Your character is more akin to the forest and the like, and being in the city is definitely a very strong change of pace. It takes a little bit of time, but you also start to realize that the city itself has its own elements of nature and the wild. You have the stray animals that reside in the streets. You have, instead of like tall towering trees, you have these buildings creating a canopy with cloth and fabric. You have potted plants in various homes and the like. While it can often feel as though you are disconnected here, there is still nature nestled into these places, and you find it quite beautiful and calming to realize this. All right. The next day, you return to Cressida's office. As you do so, Cressida seems to be pacing back and forth. She seems to be going over several notes here behind her desk. As you enter, she says, "Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here. Please, come in. Take a seat." As you all do so, let me just get my portraits up here real quick. All right, here we go. Nope, there we go. Boom. Share that with everyone, and of course our lovely audience as well. This is Field Marshal Cressida Croft. All right. Cressida turns and says, "Thank goodness you're here. Things seem to have taken a turn. I'm sure by now, doubtlessly, you've heard some stories regarding the king's death. That perhaps there was something a little bit more to this death than merely his old age." Yes, well, there are rumors going around that the king, in fact, was murdered. And, well, word has it that the queen has named the killer. There's something more going on here, I'm afraid. You see, I feel as though the queen could have quietly dealt with this and had the culprit arrested at any time, in a way revealing the identity of the culprit seems to have incited more riots and sown more unrest among the people. With the city the way it currently is, this girl doesn't stand a chance of a fair trial. As soon as they find where she lives, I believe they'll lynch her. Probably kill her before the guards even get a chance to. Even if she did kill the king, I don't believe that mob justice is the way to go about this. Worse still is if she's innocent, the real killer will surely get away, if indeed the king was even murdered in the first place. This thing could all be nothing but more than a distraction to throw us off the trail forever.
I'm sure if the queen did it, she had a good reason to do it that way.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a very good reason. Yeah. Self-interest is a very good reason for people, I find.
Yes, and I don't intend or imply to throw blame anywhere here, but I certainly am not a person who believes that the town will sit idle while this is happening.
Mm-mm. No, I agree, and I share your concern. Uh, she's not yet in your custody. Are you making moves to retrieve her now?
Well,
Should we go get her?
well, apparently the Queen's Guard are already on their way to apprehend
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Miss Trinia Sabor. However, before Trinia is captured and executed, I need to be absolutely sure that she's guilty. And that means being able to retrieve her before someone else does. I've managed to determine her last known address. It's a flat in Midland at 42 Moon Street, in a place known as the Shingles. However, pretty soon, most of the guards will be aware of this information and be making a move. The rumors have riled up the locals something fierce, and there's even bands of Hell Knights from the Order of the Nail patrolling the streets looking for her. On top of this, word is the Queen Iliosa is not satisfied with what the Korvosan Guard has been doing to address the situation. She's preparing to address the situation, and even has already started actions to disband the King's Guard, the Sable Company. She's revealed a new founding order that she's releasing into the city, a new order of guards known as the Grey Maidens. For now, I've still got a fair number of loyal Korvosan guards, but the problem is keeping them at work is doing nothing but fatiguing them. I wish I could offer more, but right now, if I were to send them into Midland, I'm sure it would do nothing more than to trigger a riot.
Well, we can go get her.
We are discretion itself.
I don't know that we're that, but we can go get her.
I knew I could count on you.
I need you to be as quiet as we can about it.
Yes. I need you to get to Midland, find Trinia Sabor, bring her back to me so that we can deliver her safe and sound to somewhere where she can be properly interrogated. Preferably with magics, so we can be absolutely sure about her role in King Eredid's death. Get in there, catch her, and get out without letting the mob or the Hell Knights or these new guards get their hands on her. I'll have several loyal agents and officers nearby to take her into custody if you can get her out of the Shingles. If anyone has a chance to get her out of there, it will be you. Do you have any questions?
No, I think our mandate is clear. We need to make haste, though, if the Queen's Guard is already heading out towards her.
All right. I can offer 100 gold reward if you can bring her into the custody of the Korvosan Guard.
Understood.
All right. She dismisses you and goes back to her busy work. Now, if you guys would like to, you may make an appropriate knowledge roll to know if you know anything about the city and about the area that you're going into. Otherwise, it is up to you as to how you would like to travel. Now, looking at our map of Korvosa real quick, here we go. Midland is this area here in the center, just south of the university, around West Dock and the Slope. We are looking for Trinia's flat, which is H13. So H13 is, let me just share the map with you guys.
Great.
All right, H13 is here.
All right.
Okay.
I will make an appropriate knowledge roll. What would that be? As far as appropriate rolls.
Appropriate roles. Let's see. Do you have what knowledges do you have, or what lore do you have?
Academia.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy to do that. City planning and stuff like that could definitely fall under the academia viewpoint.
All right.
All right.
Well, and I'd like to make a check too. I've got underworld lore, but I am also a native.
Yep, that'll also
So-
work. So you'll get that with a +2 bonus.
Okay.
And I rolled a 2, so that gives me a 13.
Oof. All right. Well, unfortunately,
Yes.
Dante and Padrig, you don't have much information. Quinn, however, you do know a little bit about the shingles. Now, what you know is that the shingles are named this way because it is a series of very, very like lower middle class apartments that are kind of stacked on one another. That you can actually access only. A few of the apartments are actually only accessible via rooftops and the like. It is a common ground for a lot of community families and the like, where people kind of help each other out. This is not really a businessy sort of area, more of like a overpopulated residential area. In addition, there are a number of jury-rigged catwalks that overhang these roofs, constant lines of like laundry and homemade bridges. It's a multi-leveled mess of like gutters, upper floors, and rooftops, with the slums and the kind of really scummy alleys that lurk below. This is where a lot of you can also imagine like a lot of like bohemians, like the artists, the bards, and stuff like that, also tend to reside. And with your 21 on your lore check, you would also know in the underworld, you've heard word of Trinia Sabor. Trinia Sabor has gotten into trouble a number of different times as a kind of a thief, but she uses all of her money in order to put herself through Bardic College, where she is learning how to be a painter. That's what you know about her. I'd say rumor has it that, like just from like people in the streets, is the reason why she's been called out the culprit is she was doing a portrait of the king at the time of his death, which is why she is she's the suspect.
Because she knows something.
Yeah. So this is the information you've kind of ascertained from the underground knowledge.
Okay.
Would society get me anything additional?
Yeah, society could get you some additional stuff. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. So you, Holly, have actually bumped into someone who knows their way fairly well around the actual city. So I was going to give you guys a series of survival checks to potentially like try and find and get lost, but I'm going to say that with a 29, you would actually know the exact location. So you actually don't need to go rooting around in the shingles for this exact apartment. Yeah.
I know where she is. Let's go, guys.
Well, you don't know where you know where she lives. To clarify.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether she's there or not.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I didn't misspeak when I said you know where she is.
I know where the apartment is.
Okay. Let me just.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's go check her apartment out first. If she's there, makes it easy. I suspect if she knows people are looking for her, she's probably not going to be there, but
all right.
We'll find out when we get there.
So our heroes begin their journey into the shingles, heading towards the Midland. It isn't long before Holly leads you up and onto the various catwalks and bridges. What is that fucking annoying? There we go. Done. All right. So, leading up onto the catwalks, you make your way crossing a variety of different places. You can see that people are, just going about their day-to-day business, but there is definitely some unrest that seems to linger. Several large posters have been margined out in this entire area of Trinia Sabor. She looks to be very, very young, short-haired blonde woman, based on the images that are being portrayed everywhere. And you can see that a lot of people here are just super angry. Some of them saying, "Oh, I saw her yesterday, and she was looking really suspicious." Yeah, no, I heard that she was actually in with a few of the criminals down at Eel's End. You could hear that just all these rumors. It's like, oh, if only I could catch her, I'd love to get that reward. People are actively searching for her in the streets. They don't seem to pay any attention to you, but if I could get everyone to make me a perception check en route, please. Nice. Pretty much everyone except Patrick. notices everyone except Patrick notices these individuals marching through the streets.
Patrick is distracted by butterflies.
All right. Large black armored knights with the visage of a skull emblazoned upon their chest seem to march through these streets in pairs. You've not seen these guards before in the streets, but you know who they are simply based on their reputation. These are the Hell Knights of the Order of the Nail. Large, very, very aggressive knights who pride themselves of being above the law. In a good way and in a bad way at the same time. Basically, they fight chaos in all its forms. The law is absolute to them. The problem is the law is absolute to them. There is no wiggle room. There is no arguing. If they go to a nation where slavery is legal, then they will uphold the law. If they go to a nation where slavery is to be abolished, they will follow the law. They believe that wherever they walk, wherever they roam, chaos should fall. And having a few Hell Knights here during the riots and stuff like that has been basically, it's been unsurprising to say the least. So yes, they are these individuals. Yeah, if I were to say like, they're very intense, but they're not evil.
We should avoid those guys as much.
Yeah.
Yep, good call.
I am all for that.
All right. It isn't long before you find yourself at the address in question. You could see that there is a door leading into this small art studio. As you go to open it, it appears to be... it doesn't seem to be locked. It seems to be barred.
I
like to
sort of
knock.
shrug. Yeah, I shrug and kind of mime knocking at the door. And then Quinn just knocks, so we're good.
Everyone can make a perception check real quick. All right. It is with little to no effort, with the exception of Dante, that you hear the sounds of someone escaping out the back. You hear the sounds of a sliding door and the sounds of very, very hastened footsteps running in a different direction.
I do the circle the house gesture and
Yeah, I'll see if I can slip around and intercept.
I'm going
Alright.
to climb over the roof and see if I can cut her off from over the roof.
All right.
I'll go left. Someone else go right.
yeah, I'm going right.
Okay. You begin to move around, heading to try and flank from all angles. Flying overhead, climbing over, should I say, Holly, while Quinn and Patrick run around the sides. You see... Let me see if I can... Do I have an image here? Yeah, there is. Boom. Alright. Yeah, you can see a very, very graceful blonde woman who is leaping from rooftop to rooftop. As we enter an encounter I am nicknaming Hardcore Parkour.
Parkour. Okay.
I am going right after her.
Alright.
Yeah, this seems like Holly's jam.
This
Quinn's
is
concerned.
absolutely my jam.
I'm like, Quinn's going, oh no, I hate rooftop chases.
Alright, there is Trinia for you guys. There it is. Okay. Okay, you begin to approach, making your way across these rooftops. Again, because Holly is so familiar with these places, it's not hard to find these various catwalks to try and keep up with currently her pace. First thing she is going to do is she is going to attempt to lose you in a crowd. All right, perception checks. That'll probably, yeah, she probably won't do it. Yep. Dante is going to have Corvid try and keep track of her in the air. Very well, let me roll for Corvid then. Alright.
I feel like also
Yeah.
I have some sort of Harrow Deck card that's supposed to come into play in this, but I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't remember what it was.
Very well. I would say that I think this one was the strength one, so I think you get bonuses to the chase, but I mean at the moment you're succeeding. If you fail, we'll take a look at it. All right.
Okay.
So, yes, it is not difficult. She does blend into the crowd reasonably well, but it does not take long for you to find her. Corvid calls from up above as the large crow that belongs to Dante starts following Trinia through the crowd. She is now running because she can't make it to a clear space, and makes her way into what looks to be a building. Probably like a tailor of some kind. Large rolls of fabric you can kind of see are like kind of lined up against the wall here. She's going to use it to try and like push these down so that the way forward is barred. I'm going to get you guys to decide how you would like to proceed and make me an appropriate check as you describe how you get past the tumbling rolls of fabric. Let's start with Patrick. And Dante, if you want to start typing out what you would like to do. Yeah. So.
All right. So Patrick is fairly dexterous. So as these rolls of fabric are coming down towards him, he's kind of almost peacefully to like just kind of push them aside and around them and weave through. See if I can sort of deflect and dodge.
All right, so you're gonna try and dodge them?
Yes.
Or are you gonna try and push them?
Well, I'm imagining as they're coming that I'm kind of sliding my body and using my hands to, if it, but also mostly dodge.
Okay. The reason I ask is it's either a strength or dex-based thing.
Okay.
So
it's gonna be
imagine a heavy pillar falling directly on you. If your footing is not stable, you're not going to be able to move it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, this is going to be dex. So he's pirouetting and
okay. So
and
yeah, you're mostly dodging this.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Please make me a acrobatics check as the large ream falls on you.
Okay, skill acrobatics, and then I've also a sec. Okay, that's not gonna. Cat's fall is not gonna help me because that's if I'm falling. So.
Yep.
Just acrobatics, and I did see I have a note about my dex checks. That I have a Harrow point and I can spend my Harrow point to re-roll a dex check.
Ah, brilliant. Exactly. So you can use that on this if you'd like. This is
I would, because I rolled a 2.
Good call.
So that's a 15.
All right. Well, just as you see, because you move out of the way of one of these large reams, but as you do, you don't see a second one falling down on you as well. Let's see how you go with this. Make an acrobatics.
All right, 28.
All right. You end up dropping to your knees and having them collide above your head, and you slide through reasonably well here. All right,
All right.
Holly.
Okay. Holly, so there's like lots of these things falling,
Yeah,
or
think of it like a series of dominoes and stuff. She's like pulled a few of them, and the whole rack is now falling, and they're just kind of they're not just hitting the ground, but they're like bouncing a little bit because they're heavy, but they're also kind of, what do you call it, springy.
okay. But she hit the rack too, though, right?
Yeah.
Holly is going to try to fly up to hit kind of the edge of the rack and use that as a jumping off point, and she can fly now because she has functional wings for brief periods. So she's flying up to the rack and using that as sort of a bouncing off point, and then using that to launch herself forward and to do a backflip in the air and to land ahead of all of the things that are flying and to continue her run forward.
Okay, so you're doing a acrobatics check because
Yes.
I don't think there's a fly skill in this edition.
There is not.
No, yeah. So acrobatics, as you will leap over the rack.
And I am also going to use my Harrow point on that one.
Very well. Oh wait, did your Harrow point actually work for this encounter? I don't think it would have.
It just, hang on.
Because here's what happens. Everyone had a Harrow draw, which gives them this bonus in a specific encounter. Patrick.
Well,
I had a
one
general
Harrow-
one.
I have one Harrow point that can be used to any dex-based check, and I must abide by the new roll that was separate from the encounter with Vrieg.
Okay. Yeah. Very well. Then you can. You can use that one. Absolutely. Yep. Let's go. Nice. Similarly, as you fly up and land on the rack collapses underneath you, and for a moment you lose your footing. But thankfully, because you've got your wings now, you manage to stay aloft enough to fly over the falling reams of cloth.
Patrick claps. I believe in fairies. I believe in fairies.
All right,
Nice.
Quinn.
So at this point, I've seen Patrick kind of slide under it, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark style, right?
It's kind of all happening at the same time. Like,
Yeah,
it's not necessarily
and
one.
Holly's like going across the top. I'm gonna like try to scramble across the top of them as well, because I'm assuming that I'm not gonna be able to like get under them.
All right, let's make an athletics check as you climb over these.
Yeah, this is gonna be so bad. This is not a skill that she has nursed. Yeah, right.
Hey,
Okay,
you make
look.
it. There you go.
I surprised myself.
Oh yeah, you're very accustomed to criminals running away from you and like throwing boxes and stuff to get in your way, and you just sort of scrambling over the carnage that lies in front of you. So you this is actually surprisingly really familiar for Quinn. Yeah, you managed to scramble over the top here. Dante, what about yourself? What are you gonna do? Dante's gonna dodge around them, taking the least encumbered route so as to not lose speed. Okay, let's make a acrobatics check as you are attempting to kind of dodge into like those free and clear gaps here. 23, not a problem. Okay, you guys managed to all of you. Managed to get past this collapse of various clots and the like, and you are gaining even closer to her. All right. Now, as she begins to make her way, here we go. She goes over to a large rooftop and makes an absolutely impossible leap. She jumps with both her arms and legs forward, almost as if she's sitting down. And as she flies over this distance, you watch as she doesn't actually make the roof, but she uses her hands to catch on to the lip of the roof and uses her feet to kick onto the base before pulling herself up and scrambling over the very, very large gap. Now, Holly, you could obviously fly across the gap with no problem if you're still able to use your flying abilities. But Patrick, Quinn, and Dante, you'll need to figure out how to get across. You can go around, but you will lose time.
Is there a chandelier? I'm kidding.
So, yeah, I have in my inventory another thing. I forget exactly what it does because I think you never really told me to flesh it out. But I have the Peter Parkour rope.
That's right. I forgot about that.
The Peter Parkour rope is basically like a grappling hook. It creates a rope and a tether and will tether to whatever you throw it at.
All right, so can I throw that across to give us like a rope to cross?
Yep, 100%. Yep, you can.
All right.
And you create that rope.
All right.
All right.
What do I need to roll for that? Anything?
Acrobatics, because this is balance. So you're going to be balancing across the rope.
And I'll just toss it out there. So I have the cat fall ability. Now this treats falls as 10 feet shorter. Is this going to help in crossing this rope or throwing it or no?
I mean, if you fall, it'll hurt less.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all it can do.
Had to ask.
It's what's on the cereal box, mate. Like if you fall, it'll hurt less, and that'll be about it. All right. Speaking of which,
I'm gonna use my hero point and re-roll that.
Very well.
Because we can't have a 1 there.
Well, I mean. All right, you've consumed your hero point. Make the reroll.
There we go. 27.
Right. Yeah. So you lose your footing for a second, and as you do so, you manage to catch yourself with your other foot. You balance and sort of kind of regain it, but stick to it and manage to make your way across the very, very. I say very thin, but it's not that thin. It's actually pretty sizable as far as the length of rope goes. And you manage to make your way across. Quinn, what about you?
I'm gonna try to follow in his footsteps.
All right, acrobatics. Yeah, it's thick enough to hold a person's weight. Easy. Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
All right.
Does the 22 see me safely across?
At 22, yes, we'll safely get you across as you make your way. Leaving Dante. Oh no, Dante. Hero point. didn't even wait for me to describe it. No, hero point. Straight away. All right. Dante, very similarly, you find it difficult. A strong wind starts to blow against the rope, and it kind of goes onto its side. You panic and kind of grab onto it with your hands, and you kind of like finish that last few legs hand over hand with your legs tied around it as well. But you do manage to get across. Now, I presume, Holly, you were okay with flying, or?
Oh yeah, I'm totally flying over that.
All right, cool. As you guys make your way across, however, all of a sudden you see the beatings of large wings. These are the wings of a griffin.
Oh no. I am gonna make sure I grab that rope back too. Just don't want to forget.
You will need to stop if you want to do that.
I will tell everyone to keep going, and I'll try and catch up.
All right.
But I don't want to leave the magic rope behind.
Very well. Actually, it's not a griffin, it's a hippogriff. My apologies.
Oh, it's one of those guards, isn't it?
It is. Swooping down onto the rooftop is, of course, one of these guards who has seen who has seen Trinia jumping and being chased. The guard, dressed in quite sort of regal attire, like, shiny armor and the like, riding atop this great mighty beast, seems to have grabbed her by the arm. She's sort of fighting and struggling to get free, and this guard is sort of yelling at her. Do not resist! You're under arrest by order of the Queen! Alright, what's your actions?
Have we made it up to the guard yet?
You're close enough. This is as you're approaching. She's not running because she's currently nabbed.
Okay, thank you so much for stopping her. We will go ahead and take her from here. We are here on special orders from Captain Cressida.
I will say that as someone who made your society check, you know that this is a Sable Company Marine, and outranks Cressida as far as the gods go. These guys are like the royal gods.
Oh. Oh wait, but the Queen sent us to Cressida. We are here on special orders from the Queen. Thank you so much for your assistance, and we will take over from here.
All right, make a deception check. Yeah, this guy turns around to you and says, I don't know who you are, but stay back. This is a dangerous criminal. And, he's kind of like, you can kind of tell he's kind of ignoring the statement for the Queen, but now sees you as potentially, what do you call it?
A rival.
No, what's the word? There's, aiding and abetting this woman, so she sees that you might be
we know she's a dangerous criminal. That's why we were sent to get her, and we were chasing her.
Actually, point of fact, she's not known to be a dangerous criminal until she's been judged to have been guilty.
Suspected. Yeah, it's a good point.
There you go. In any event,
this guy still holds her firmly by the arm. She's still struggling to kind of pull herself free. She's got her foot on the side of the hippogriff, who, by the way, doesn't like having someone kicking it. So you see that the hippogriff's kind of getting a bit cross as well.
I was going to actually whisper to Dante and see if there's any way he can get the hippogriff to start wandering away from the guard. Is there anything that we can do that will make the guard chase the hippogriff instead of holding on to the girl? So I'm going to ask Dante if he has any skills that might help us do that.
It's a good question.
He's probably typing his answer.
Yes, yeah, it probably is. All right. While Dante is typing that, however, is there something I would know that would scare off a hippogriff? Make a nature check, I guess, a knowledge nature or a nature check. And let me see what I know about hippogriffs. That's pretty knowledgeable. All right. What you know about hippogriffs? All right. With the proud... Oh, actually, you know what? Let me get that sound going. With the proud bearings of a great raptor and the magnificence of a powerful horse, hippogriffs are thought to be the accidental fusion of creatures that perhaps the creation of a flesh warp... or perhaps the creation of a flesh-warping wizard with a keen aesthetic sense. Regardless of the original source, these animals are now a common sight in the skies above their favored plains or hilled countries. Hippogriffs bear the wings, forelegs, and head of a bird of prey, with the feather coloration similar to that of a hawk or an eagle, though some breeders have managed to produce specimens with stark white or coal-black feathers. Their torsos, hindquarters, and tail, however, resemble that of a horse, usually colored bay, chestnut, or gray, with some coats bearing black, pinto, or palmino colorations. Hippogriffs are similar in size to large horses. Much like their equine cousins, hippogriffs often keep wary eyes of the skies above them, as both are preferred meals for hungry griffins and wyverns. Only hippogriffs' superior speed help protect them from these predators. Hippogriffs are exceptionally territorial and fiercely protect their lands under their domain, typically favoring sweeping grasslands, rolling hills, and prairies. Exceptionally hardy hippogriffs make their homes nestled into niches on canyon walls, from which they comb the rocky deserts for coyotes, deers, and the occasional humanoid. Hippogriffs prefer mammalian prey, but graze after every meal to aid in digestion. Since hippogriff hunting habits can be both dangerous to both ranchers and their livestock, such communities often set bounties on hippogriffs. As a result, preserved hippogriffs frequently decorate frontier taverns and remote outposts along with taxidermied remains of elk, deer, and bears. However, certain other communities train hippogriffs from hatchlings to be ridden by elite soldiers in combat. The most notable among these groups within the Inner Sea are those of the Sable Company mercenaries in the state of Korvosa. Attempts are sometimes made to train adult hippogriffs in the same manner, but often prove more difficult. Hippogriff riders must use special saddles and combat techniques that allow them to move in concert with their mount, fighting effectively while avoiding interfering with the movements of their companions' wings and beak. Alright, that is what you know about hippogriffs. And yes, this is one of the Sable Company mercenaries.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So maybe if they're territorial and wyverns are co-predators, maybe, I don't know. Dante, any ideas about something you might do? Or, you know what? I grab a sandwich out and I like rustle the paper and I like try to see if he has any interest. Does the hippogriff look interested in the food at all? It's ham. Brigida made this. She does delicious work.
Yeah, the hippogriff definitely does not seem interested in your ham. This is a war trained mount. Definitely unmoved by food given by strangers.
Okay.
However, seeing you do this, the guard immediately responds. He says, "Hey, look, I don't know who you are, but if you intend on interfering with the Queen's Guard, then you will have to answer to the Sable Company as well." And
We already told you who we are. The Queen herself told us to work.
Enough of your lies.
Okay, Holly's gonna try to intimidate.
Very well. He right now, so as he says enough of your lies, he is drawing his sword. Holly, you may use your intimidate check.
All right. This is the last time we're going to tell you. We were sent here to get her. We appreciate your assistance, and you need to go back to the Queen right now and tell her we are on the way with this criminal right now.
That's still a bluff check.
Is that not intimidate?
No, you're still lying.
Oh.
Because right now he doesn't believe. Okay, so Odd Bandicoot has redeemed an inside check. Right now, with the failed bluff check, he doesn't believe that you work for the Queen. More importantly, he does, and he is one of the elite guards. He has this woman who's in custody because that's what literally the Queen has told his order to do. And you're all still kind of dressed in your casual adventuring attire. There is no way he's believing you're working for the Queen. So you do kind of need to veer a different angle here. With how aggressive he is, it looks as though he may swing to attack. However, he will be hindered by the fact that he'll only have one arm. If you want to intimidate him, maybe leveraging the fact that there are four of you, and he's got to try and hold on to her at the same time, might be, you might be able to reason with him with that intimidation of, do you think you can really take on all five of us at the same time with one hand?
Can I fire a warning shot to help with that intimidation?
Let's go that route.
You can, but that will instigate combat.
Let's not do the warning shot yet, but
all right.
Yeah.
There's
Basically,
five of us.
yeah. Opening fire, even in a warning capacity, is a pretty good way, especially a very loud way, to draw Hell Knights and Marines to you.
Yeah, I figured it was probably a bad idea, but I throw it out there.
Very, very loud, says Reinhardt.
As an elite guard of the queen, has he not heard of the party that came in stinking of the sewers that returned this very near and dear amulet to her? I would think that that would be the stuff of court scuttlebutt. No?
Yeah, but you're also pretty aware that this is just his job. Like, you know. Yeah. And again, the fail, like, remembering the failed bluff check, it's quite clear that even if that were the case and he does know who you are, which, you know, we haven't rolled for that, but even if he did know who you are, he knows that you guys are lying about working for the queen right now.
Yeah, let's go with that. Go ahead and draw the sword. Do you really think you can take all 5 of us right now when you're trying to hold on to her? It's not gonna work.
All right. Roll your intimidation check. And yes, you will need to roll again. Nice. All right. With a 32, he stops and looks around. He does see that Patrick is armed, as is Quinn. He doesn't really know what Dante's deal is, but presumably from his attire, he could easily be a ranger or a druid. Holly, again, you're a fairy, and you're making a point of this. He's being very facetious in terms of, like, it's a fairy. But looking around, he does agree. Like, while he might be able to give you a reasonable fight on a good day, with one hand while trying to keep a prisoner, on his own, probably going to be verging on impossible. He releases the woman, and you watch as the hippogriff takes to the air. He says, "You've made a big mistake this day, and a powerful enemy among the Marines."
I make big mistakes every day.
And he'll.
I immediately go to grab her arm so she can't run again.
All right. So first of all, he'll fly away. As soon as she's let go, she is going to try and run. So, Holly, we're going to get you to make me a reflex save here to try and grab at her.
Yeah, I want to try and grab her too.
All right. Yeah, Holly, you can grab at her. You're tiny, aren't you?
I am tiny.
Yeah, you're not stopping her. You've grabbed onto her.
I'm gonna grab as well.
Padre can make a reflex save to try and grab onto her as well.
I'm not letting go.
Okay, both of you may now make an athletics check to try and hold onto her. So the reflex save is just to see if you could, react before she ran. All right. Let's see. All right, Patrick, you unfortunately did not have enough strength to hold on to her. Holly, you did.
Yes.
But you are not big enough to stop her from running.
So I'm just attached to her while she's running?
Yeah, pretty much.
Trinia, stop.
I'm just going to hang on to her.
You're in danger.
I'm gonna let you continue that conversation. Because right now she's like, I know, you're chasing me.
No, I'm chasing you because I want you to safely face trial. I believe somebody is setting you up.
She make a persuasion check here. Diplomacy. That's a good one. That's a good one. Also, as a question, do you believe that someone is setting her up, or are you just saying
I do.
this?
I actually do.
Okay. Yep.
The announcing of it publicly, to try and rile the crowds. We had already heard rumors that the queen was behind the murder. This kind of would, I mean, like, I'm willing to say maybe she is guilty, but I think she's being set up.
Okay. Level 5. DC is 20 on this one.
Didn't make it. I am actually going to...
Sorry, 19.
Let's see.
DC is 19. You can use your hero point to hit 19.
I would like to do that.
All right, using your hero point to gain a +4 for consuming it after the roll. She does indeed stop in place. Holly is still hanging on. I kind of imagine Holly's bracing, like, oh god, I'm gonna go flying. Like, you know, like when you're just about to go into a roller coaster, you're just like, you know, 'cause
Right.
you saw how she was like jumping everywhere.
White knuckle grip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, hanging on.
Yep. She stops and she says, you can kind of see tears welling up in her eyes. She says, I didn't do anything. I really didn't.
Well, then we're gonna help you, but you can't keep running away from us because bad people are going to find you, and that Sable Company Marine dude is coming back with more of them, and we're not gonna scare off more of them.
If you end up with the Queen's Guard, I just don't believe you'd be safe. Cressida Croft, is that her name? Field Marshal
Field
Croft.
Marshal Croft, yeah.
That's it. Thank you. Wants to see you have a fair trial, and I think that she believes you might be set up too, although she's not said that. But I think that she might think that. And she wants to keep you safe. She's concerned that if others get their hands on you, you won't be safe. And she just wants to see you fairly tried. And if you are innocent, you have nothing to fear, but you need to be in her care.
She thinks for a moment. She realizes that the whole city is out to get her, but she believes in Quinn's words. She looks at Holly and remembers that Holly did scare off the Sable Company Marine, so it's not like you're lying to try and claim the bounty for yourself. You wouldn't risk bringing the attention of the Sable Company Marines no more than anyone else would. She seems to untense. And she says, I really didn't do anything. All I did was paint a portrait. I don't know why this is happening to me.
Well, then let us help you. Come
Yep.
on, let's go and let's hide your hair and get you into a safe place.
Holly, do you have any method of like disguising yourself when you're out and about doing your...
Well, she says, but the Queen's the one who called me out. She's the one who named me. Now the whole city is out to get me. What if this Cressida person is also out to get me?
No, she's a nice person. We like her.
I believe her to have a lot of integrity. I don't...
She shares the same concerns that we have, that calling you out before you're in custody puts a target on your back so that no one can find out whether you're actually guilty or innocent.
Or what you might actually know.
Right. And while she in her position can't flat out say, I think there's a conspiracy against you, it's easy to discern that from her instructions to us to make sure that you are safe and the information that you may hold is gathered away from the Queen's Guard and the Hell Knights and anyone else who might be after you. We are independent contractors. We are not beholden to anyone that we don't believe is in the right.
I'm gonna pull out my cloak and put it over her so her head's kind of covered and her face is covered. And okay,
you have a tiny cloak, right?
Well, yeah, it's a small cloak, but it's something.
No, tiny. Remember?
Yeah, so I take off my hat.
Tiny is this big. Tiny cloak is like
tiny.
This big.
But it's a magic cloak, wouldn't it?
It's a yarmulke. It's you basically. You've given her the world's tiniest yarmulke, I guess.
We need to get away from this location because that guy's going to come back with more people. We need to go now.
She says, I trust you.
All right, let's get you off the street and out of the way. Now, I know, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation I can use typically to clean things up. Mm-hmm. Can I use it to kind of dirty her up?
I feel like you could use dirt to do that.
Well, yeah, but, magic's quicker. Yeah, but whatever we can
This
do, I
guy,
think
this
to just
guy.
kind of disguise her.
Any of you World of Warcraft fans out there, this is how Blood Elves start. I just want to say that. They just throw this out there. This is how you get Blood Elves.
I'm not a World of Warcraft player, so that doesn't hurt me or give me any sort of reaction.
it's fine.
I play a blood elf. Thank you very much.
Filthy Blood Elves. It's fine. I used to play the Night
Filthy
Elves.
Alliance.
Used to be like, ooh, freaking yeah. Anyway, so anyway, digressing. Let's go through a few things. First of all, Rykon says that you can use prestidigitation to change her hair color. As part of the normal use of her spells and stuff like that, which could help because she's obviously very strikingly blonde, which was also depicted in the portrait of her as well. In addition, you would also be able to easily disguise her with a lot of the clothes that are hanging out on the lines here, as per the description of the shingles. If you are doing so, I will forego the stealth check you will need to get her out of here. And replace it with a deception or a bluff check in order to try and disguise her out. Or trickery if you want to use trickery.
I think gray hair, and we try to deck her out like a grandma.
Sure.
Very well. All right. So who wants to make the trickery or deception check?
I'll do deception if that works.
That works.
Sure.
I would assume your deception is probably higher than mine.
Okay.
It's higher than mine.
Okay, so Holly, you travel into the streets alongside Trinia, and holding onto her hand, almost as if she's almost as if she is an old lady. Like you're like kind of helping her across the road, and you kind of got your arm out and stuff. Hey, Rico, nice to see you. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to just give a quick shout out to Rico. Rico was actually one of my very, very first fans. Good to see you, my dear friend. And I hope everything is going super well for you. Yeah, hi. All right. So, Holly, with very little effort, you managed to lure/lead Trinia to the meeting place where several of the Korvosan guards are waiting for you. This is these are the guards that Cressida had outlined outside of the shingles to very covertly get her out of there. There is a wagon that is there. It's like kind of completely covered up, and the door behind it is wide open. As you approach, they kind of again give it a second look because this doesn't look like Trinia. But as they take a closer look, they're like, "Oh, okay." They see what you've done. Trinia is a little bit more nervous now, getting into the back of like a sealed car. There is no way for her to escape. But she will. She says, "I trust you," and will head on in. The door slams shut, and the guards take her away back to the castle. You are now left on the streets, having done a job well done. I'll imagine that, fast tracking this a little bit, you will head back to the keep. They'll say that Trinia arrived safely, and they give you your 100 100 gold pieces. As they do so, Cressida unfortunately is a little bit busy to meet at the moment. She's conducting the interrogation herself, and says that they will get in contact with you within the next few days, likely for some more work. During this time, Patrick, you will finish up your various concoctions, as well as anything else you guys would like to do. But yeah, a couple of days will pass. What would you guys like to do in your downtime?
All right. So yeah, as said, I mean, I'm gonna spend that time making some alchemical bombs. Make sure my weapons are all cleaned and up to date. Do some reading. Kind of. And I think that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. Holly?
At some point, I kind of want to go see Chris again to see if he has any cool, fun things that could be useful.
Chris is the. Who is Chris again?
That was
The
Oh
tinkerer,
yes,
right?
yes. No,
Yep.
that's right. Let's see. Where is Chris? What did I do with him?
Yep, and Patrick, hearing that, is saying, "Yeah, that's why I'm making anti-plague tonic."
Do we know that that's where she got sick though?
Yeah, we don't know that's where I got sick
I
from.
just, well, you got sick after that, but that's right. We don't know that exactly.
All right.
So she's gonna go there and touch everything all over again.
That's why I'm making anti-plague tonic.
All right. Have to find the Hero Forge art for that one. All right. Very well. You are gonna go and head over. What are you intending to do with Chris in terms of stuff?
I just want to see if he has any fun things to purchase, because Holly has noticed that everybody has all of this really, really cool stuff, and she doesn't have anything good, and she wants some poisons. And she figures Chris would be the guy to have poisons.
Chris does not have poisons. Chris trades in old reliquary kind of like collectors. Like he's more like a antiques dealer more than anything else. But he will point you to an apothecary, one that you are somewhat familiar with.
I'm actually going to recall that I have a magic item banked because I wanted armor and we needed to be level 5 to get the
that's
armor
right.
runes.
Yeah.
And I'm now level 5, so
We all want +1 armor.
yeah.
All right, you guys may use this opportunity in the next few days to go shopping, look around, see if you can find materials that you'd like. That is not a problem.
All right. And what I said earlier with what I'm making, looking at the crafting, I guess when I make a batch, I actually make 4 of each thing. So I will have made 1 batch of everything that I was making.
Very well, not a problem. All right, Quinn, what about yourself? Just the armor searching, or is there anything?
No, I'm going to take the opportunity to return 2 books that I had been reading to the lending library. One is The Psychology of the Criminal Mind, and the other one is The History of Notable Nobles. I want to get a few books on plagues and sickness because of all of the things that seem to be beta tested in the necromancer's lair, all of the concoctions he was making that to make people sick.
Beautiful, I love it. All right.
Oh yeah, and
the
we
librarian
have the plague
is.
books.
What's that?
We have the Plague and the Golem books from the thing.
That's right.
Yep.
We should study those.
Yeah, you guys can absolutely be in studying those particular materials, and it is quite detailed in the works that are written here. They talk about hypothetical pandemic situations, like kind of examples of like similar cases of like bubonic plague that struck different areas of the inner sea region, but like these are sort of things that happened like long ago, more than like anytime recently. It's not so much a medicine book than it is a history book, if that makes sense. All right, Dante, what about yourself? Mally, do you have Chris's Hero Forge art?
Yeah, I can pull it up. Do you need it?
Could you send it to me, please? Yeah, I don't know where.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in my billions of different models somewhere, but I can't find it for the life of me.
Loading it up now.
Thank you. All right. Currently looking at what I can even achieve at this level. Well, forget about this level. What are you doing? What is Dante as a person, as an entity existing in this city, wanting to do? I mean, there are so many things you can do in the city. You can go and have a donut. You could go fishing. You could go and build a relationship. Go dating, you know? See if there's like, it's like, hey, Kitsune, 21 years old, loves long walks on the docks. Good listener. Wants to go mountain climbing with, the right special someone. All inquiries, please ask at, Zerlara's fortune-telling shop. Serious offers only. No non-smokers. I'm wondering if Rykon's typing something or just laughing. I don't know. I'm hoping him.
At this point, it's probably both.
Both.
There it is.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Holly, for looking into that. Okay, cool. Now, Holly, for you, while you're looking into this. Brilliant. Gracias. Alright, I will save that one. Okay, so while you're looking into this, you come across this individual. This is Jackagon.
Really?
Now,
I didn't get to meet him.
Yeah, so Chris puts you into contact with Jackagon, who is a dealer and a purveyor of less than legal materials.
We
of an
remember
alchemical nature.
Jackagon.
Yeah. So
I was unconscious and bleeding. I didn't get to meet him.
Yeah,
He's got stone skin for days.
it does. I got stone skins for days. Okay, don't worry about it. Forget about it. There you go. Okay. Yeah, no, I remember Jackagon. Now, gotta kind of get his accent right. Okay. All right. So yeah, you're gonna go and talk to Jackagon. He says, "Hey, listen. I don't know you. You don't know me. I don't know who told you about what you can find here, but, I only handle, medicinal herbs and spices and whatnot. They're all for like rheumatism. Okay, I got a permit."
What if I want to medicinally make people not hurt me anymore?
Oh yeah. I got stuff for that too. Medicinal stuff that makes people not hurt you. It depends on how not hurt you want to get.
I just want a few things that I can put on my knives to make sure that they're just a little extra useful.
Yeah, okay. I think I know what you're kind of talking about. Like I definitely have more than one kind of preventative remedy that we can apply to your daggers there. But how much scratch you talking? This stuff ain't cheap.
I mean, I can handle it, but I'm not going to negotiate against myself. What do you got and what are you offering?
Well, it depends on what you need. Again, if you're just looking at something, for day-to-day use, maybe I've got something from a spear frog. Maybe I got a bit of, some spider venom here and there. I mean, I got a few things here. You got to be a little bit more specific. You're trying to kill a dragon. You're trying to protect yourself from some gods. I mean, what do you need it for?
Do you have anything that might make somebody go to sleep?
Yeah, I got a few things here. Let's see, you gotta eat this one, you gotta drink this one, you gotta drink that one, you gotta drink that one. Yeah, most of the stuff that puts folk to sleep, you gotta kind of get them to drink the stuff. You can't simply, give them the old prison toothbrush there.
I mean, yeah, I think the prison toothbrush is probably the best way to go.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
if I
yeah.
can't put him to sleep, let's put them to sleep. What's the strongest stuff that you have? Well, okay. So
Hey, stronger stuff I got. Oh, well, I didn't
there's a really,
realize.
really mean necromancer that might need some preventative sleeping.
Oh, actually, you know what? I do have something. I do have one thing. But let's talk about that strong stuff real quick.
Okay.
You want the strong thing? You want the strong stuff? Well, I got something that might be able to work here. It's called the Tears of Death. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like names on the bottle.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds promising.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes, but anyone I mean, this stuff could kill a dragon, basically.
I like that. How much is that?
That's 12,000 gold pieces.
Okay, that's a little bit out of the price range.
What
I
happened
probably
to
can't haggle that one down.
what happened to I can afford anything?
Okay, maybe not anything. I'm probably not going to be hunting dragons, but
Yeah,
I mean,
he looks you up and down. He says, "All right, look. If you want something, I got some lethargy poison. Okay, look, it's not the best of stuff. It kind of make people a bit drowsy. It's 7 gold pieces.
ooh, I want 10 doses of that, but I will give you 60 gold pieces for 10 doses.
Make a diplomacy check to try and haggle down. Lethargy. 31. Sure, he'll haggle down to 60. He's fine with that. All right. There you go. I'm gonna just post this in the Discord chat so that you have that for later.
And I will definitely be back for more fun stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure you will be. Name's Jack again, and don't tell your friends about me.
I won't. This is just between us.
Yeah. Make sure it's just between us too. Okay. All right. Next. What's this? You want something to cure your rheumatism? Yeah, I got a bat. He'll just keep working and doing other stuff. He's a pretty shifty dealer. You can kind of tell that he definitely trades in black market stuff, and yeah. All right.
All right, so
Oh, sorry. Just real quick, Rykon. If you did have anything else, throw it in chat now, and I will read it. Otherwise, we'll keep moving. Patrick.
I was gonna say, in addition to making some things, would I be able to find someone to purchase or learn any additional formulas from?
Probably not beyond your current leveling up, as it were.
Okay.
But part of that would be like, yeah, you would go and seek out people and information in order to add to your formula book. So when you do level, that's that process of you having met with people and discovered stuff.
All right, so I will go. I'll do some alchemical studying then in my downtime too, so that
Sweet.
when I'm able to add more formulas, I will have a little bit more knowledge.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Dante's trying to see if you can find some cheater elixir moderate. Yeah, absolutely. This stuff is legal, so you can go to a local apothecary that's not Jackagon, and yeah, they'll sell you a nice little bottle of delicious cheater elixir. One of them says this one's freshly squeezed cheetah. He giggles and he jokes with you. He's like, haha, get it? It's a freshly squeezed cheetah. It's fine. He notices that the druid doesn't laugh at that particular joke and goes, oh, okay. Whew, tough crowd. And carries on. All right. Now, A few days pass. You guys are rested, recuperated, and have a variety of the new materials that you have. We will, of course, give you guys time to shop for magic items and stuff as well, but we'll do that, as always, in the in-between. However, on this day at dawn, you are awoken by the sounds of fanfaring trumpets. A crier steps forth. Hear ye! Hear ye! Let it be known that this day, which happens to be Monday, it has been found and proven with unequivocal evidence that one Trinia Sabor has been proclaimed guilty for the murder of King Eridad II, beloved monarch of our fair kingdom.
Hello, Korvosans. You have suffered greatly these
Oh,
past
nope.
few
Hang on.
weeks.
Just quiet, you.
Home
Silence! I kill you. Okay.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Well, yeah, she'll say something in a minute. But anyway. She will say,
I want to.
no, the crier will say, this affair of the execution of Trinia Sabor will happen momentarily outside of the Grand Keep. The palace itself will open its gates so that all of Korvosa may witness what will happen to those who threaten the peace and prosperity of our fair city. Come one, come all. Hear ye, as he keeps walking down the streets. You all hear this from wherever you happen to be, whether you're staying in Zalara's fortune-telling home that she had left to you, or if you're in your own apartments. You do eventually hear of this and contact one another. Do you guys want to go to the execution, or do you guys want to kind of? I mean, yeah, it is up to you guys.
Wait, we thought she wasn't guilty.
Well, if the queen is intent on covering her tracks, if we believe the queen is guilty and she's intent on covering her tracks, she would find her guilty no matter what. I thought Cressida, though, would prevent that and see that she got a fair hearing.
Well,
But
we should
even
go-
Cressida must answer to the queen. I don't know.
Let's go talk to Cressida because this doesn't seem right.
But if she's being executed right now,
I feel like we should probably go there. Public execution. Let's see what's going to happen. That's where things are going to go down. Whether it's actually her or not, I mean, we don't even know. They could just say it's her and execute someone else entirely. Although, with them having her, I'm sure that they'll probably get rid of her because poor Bard.
We have to save her. We can't let this happen if she's innocent.
We don't know if she's innocent, though. That's the problem.
well, I feel like
I feel it's shady as hell. And
yeah, I don't feel like
she's
she
a
got
patsy.
a fair hearing.
I believed her.
Let's go see what we can do, if anything.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
What is I would assume I would know what the typical manner of public execution is in Korvosa. What do they typically do with their criminals?
Oh, they a variety of different things. They hang them, they behead them. It depends on the mood. All right. Heading towards the castle. You can see that there is unrest among the people. A heavy blow has been dealt to their morale since the loss of their king, and now all have gathered here to witness the death of the one responsible. There is a certain amount of, like, I guess, joyfulness, which is very macabre, that continues to linger here. the happiness that the person who has been responsible for their suffering is finally about to get what's coming to them. The execution is definitely, as the crier said, an affair not to be missed, as the toast of Korvosa is also in attendance. Garnished gowns, fine capes, and jewels enough to blind a common citizen seem to line around the palace itself, where as it goes further down, a mixture of both guards and peasantry gather in this main area. You can hear the sounds of the rioting masses. As Queen Iliosa emerges from behind these large and gaudy red curtains, there is a great flourish and a pomp. There's great flourish and pomp as heralds announce with a fanfare of music and drums her arrival. Which should be any second now. No? No? Hello?
Hello.
Nope.
What are we?
You shut her up before, now she does want to talk.
Yeah, right? Come on. I'm not going to say, do you? Where is it? No, she doesn't want to say anything. All right. Let's try. Let's try this. There we go. Come on. I mean, I'm happy to do the speech. I just have the freaking sound file for it. Oh, I know what it is. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Please hold. The
girl from Ipanema. Nice. It's gonna be stuck in my head now.
Good. Okay. Just loaded this up. Okay. As the queen emerges, you can hear the set of drums that have heralded the arrival of the queen, as well as the fanfare, including what looks to be Trinia, dressed in black robes and shackled, with a man wearing a large executioner's hood behind her. She is very frightened. You can see that her hands tremble and tears run down her face. Okay.
How many guards?
Lots.
That's what I figured.
You can also see that there is you can also see there is a stage with a large guillotine that is there as well. All right. Let's see. Does that work? Okay, there we go. Let's see if this works now. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, so Trinia is being marched out. The queen shows up as the fanfares greet her as she takes the podium. Trinia is placed on the block next to the guillotine. Her head
is
strapped
Sorry,
down.
go ahead.
It's Cressida here? Yes.
Yeah.
She appears to be on the stage, both hands kind of held together, standing in line next to the captain of the Sable Company Marines, and what looks to be some of the Hell Knights.
Really?
Fellow
Yeah.
Korvosans,
That's...
you have suffered greatly these past few weeks. Homes have burned. Family members have died. and fortunes have been lost. I feel your suffering, for not only have I lost a beloved husband, but with each act of anarchy that followed, my heart bled more. This has been a trying time for us, yet the torment is at an end. Before you is the source of your anguish and pain. Do not be deceived by this murderer's timid nature. She is a black-hearted assassin. I offer you her death as a salve against the hatred and hurt you have suffered. And so, without further delay, let us usher in this new dawn with justice. Off with her head!
All right. The crowd begins to cheer and rise up. The executioner tightens the grip on the rope, about to drop the blade.
Is there nothing we can...
When suddenly from the crowd,
Gods, it's Blackjack!
you see a man flying across the way.
Yes, indeed, my queen.
Oh, I'll do this one. Hold on. Aha, this is me. I want to do that one. No.
Because that one sounds fun.
That one's there. That one sounds fun. All right, here we go. So, all right. As the guillotine is about to fall down, a dagger flies out and hits the executioner in the shoulder, who cries out in pain. A cry from the crowd. By gods, it's Blackjack! Instant later, a man dressed in a hooded cloak and wearing a black mask springs to Trinia's side. Using a dagger that he pulls from his sleeve, he cuts the bonds on Trinia's wrist and then throws the same dagger once again at the executioner to pin his left foot to the platform, preventing him from approaching. Blackjack turns and says, "Ha ha 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 ha! Yes, indeed, my queen. Let us usher in justice, but let it be justice for Korvosa, not this shambles you call a monarchy. Long live Korvosa, and down with the queen." You hear this, the immediate rustle of like the elite going, "Oh," starting to mumble, and you hear some of the crowd start to cheer. The crowd begins to erupt into action. Some demand the release of Trinia, while others call for the queen's resignation. The queen stands stunned for a few moments, staring at the intruder, but then whispers something to her right hand. The red-haired woman in silver armor, Sabina. She quickly turns and retreats back into the castle as dozens of guards immediately move to cover her retreat. The Hell Knights and Sable Company begin to move to apprehend Blackjack, but the gathered nobles who are thirsty for blood seem to make it difficult for the guards to approach. At the same time, the executioner seems to recover from his wound, pulling the dagger out of his foot and raising an axe to hit this masked man. Suddenly, a blast of smoke covers the area as this figure, with Sabina in hand, leaps into the crowd. Many of the crowd's people seem to cover the escape, blocking the way and blocking the passage. As they make their way through the crowd, this figure and Sabina move past you. He locks eyes with Quinn specifically. And there's just kind of this momentary look where you notice these striking blue eyes behind the mask. He also seems to have like kind of a more aged look. Definitely not like a super young, kind of, super fit individual, but like somebody who, has experience. But the most important thing you notice, Quinn, because you have the notice something out of place. This is not Trinia. It is a look-alike. So while very similar to in appearance, you remember prestidigitation changes the hair color. This hair color has similarly been changed by a prestidigitation, and this woman is not the same one that you had saved. They continue to move until eventually they come to a large wall that would lead them out of this interior area of the courtyard. You look as this individual tries to find a way to climb up with Trinia in hand.
Is there any way that, although it's not Trinia,
Well, I say
let's
Trinia.
throw me for, yeah.
It's still some random person who's going to be executed for show. So they need a way to climb up.
Yep.
I've got a grappling hook rope.
Oh, you want to use the Peter parkour rope?
I will use the Peter parkour rope.
All right, very
for them
well.
To
All right. As the crowd seems to have impeded many of the guards, they do not notice as Patrick, you throw up the large rope that's there. As it clings to the wall, the hooded figure seems to notice you in your direction, and then with one hand kind of climbs it with this woman sort of underneath her arm. He actually sort of vices his legs and uses it to kind of pull and shimmy. This is like great freaking core strength here as he's climbing up the top. Once he gets there, he takes the rope and he throws it back into the crowd. You think for a moment that he's just throwing it to get rid of it so the guards can't follow, but you actually notice it lands pretty close to you, like not next to, but like within like a short step away.
yeah, I'll pick that up as nonchalantly as I can.
All right. And as the two of them leap from the back of the wall and escape from the chaos, you can hear the sounds of the Marines sort of taking to the air and the guards finally pushing through the crowds. Some of them even push past you. Patrick, you notice that Cressida is the only person in the crowd who has seen you, seen what you did with the rope. She leaves the stage and seems to walk off. And for now, however, the city may seem safe, but the troubles are far from over. Without blood, there is still this unrest that lingers here. And the city, despite your best efforts, having quelled several riots, defeated large monsters, and even prevented war, Korvosa remains, for the time being at least, on the edge of anarchy. And that is the end of Book 1.
Oh my god. Bum, bum, bum.
Yep. Sorry, the ending of Part 1 is super cinematic. Let me share this with everyone because I always love these. Where is it? No, it doesn't want to show me there. I always love the cover arts as well. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. And there. All right. How'd you guys find the session?
Oh, it was fun.
There
Yeah,
we
that
go.
was a lot of fun.
All right. There we go. Curse of the Crimson Throne. Bum. There it is.
Nice.
Yeah. No, this is an amazing game, and I definitely love it. This is part 1 of 6, of course, and the adventure does continue into part 2, whose name is 7 Days to the Grave is our next chapter. Since we've got a little bit of time here, I'm going to invite us to do a favorite moments, because I love favorite moments, but because my shows are often very, very short, I kind of forego them, because anyone who's seen favorite moments being done on Dread's channel, that would take a whole episode to get through all of favorite moments, but we can do it here. So favorite moments is where we share some of our favorite moments from each of the individuals. We lavish praise on the performances done by the people here, all in a bid to just celebrate excellence. So let's start with Patrick. Patrick, what was your favorite self moment from part 1 of Curse of the Crimson Throne?
From the whole thing?
From the whole poll of part 1, yeah.
Oh God, I gotta remember everything I've done, huh? I
Or should I say the
think
most noteworthy thing? What was the thing that you remember the best?
I think finally getting to the point where I felt like I was actually doing some damage, and I think the best example of that was going down into the dead warrens and seeing that terrifying owl bear and just absolutely
Destroy that one.
obliterating it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of made me feel like, from Padrig, having wanted to study magic and the power of being able to use elemental magic and stuff and having that taken away from him, being able to have that kind of ability through technology. I think for him, he's thinking, okay, this is the right choice for me. I'm going to continue down doing this. And, he's still going to try and merge magic and technology as much as he can with the whole spell shot thing. But, he's feeling better about the direction his life is taking, especially, having gotten that vengeance out of the way. He's not worried about getting back to his family. He cleared his name for himself, and he's forging his own path now.
Nice. That's beautiful. I love that. I think that's amazing, and I love seeing that character's growth as we continue. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Also, Dante, if you want to start typing yours out, you can as well. Holly, what is your favorite Holly moment? Or Mally, what is your favorite Holly moment?
Honestly, I think there were kind of two, if you don't mind if I do two real quick. The first one has to be the very first fight we did on the ship where we had the first extra monster, and Holly goes in with that acrobatic maneuver, the fantastic hit, and then winds up getting eaten the very next turn, and that turned into Holly getting eaten all the time, which just, I like that as just a meme. So that was the beginning of that.
I do like that.
That was good. But honestly, Holly's insistence on saving the kids, and then when we finally got the couple in to save all the kids from Gadrian Lambs, that was such a thing for Holly to be really excited about, to save the kids, because that was her main reasoning for going in after Gadrian Lamb, because she didn't want to see kids get hurt, because that was wrong and that's not how the books go. So
no, that's really cool, and I love that too. It's like there are some times where, you kind of want to just feel like a hero, and that the like saving the kids and stuff like that was a huge hero moment. I mean, it didn't start off well. What with poor Fido almost losing his arm to a dog, which is, I don't know what it is. I feel like that's the second funniest encounter with a ranger I've ever had. It's like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm a dog who has a dog that trains and handles dogs, right? Oh, look, a dog is biting my arm off. Like, that's just like it's so pristine. I love it. Because that's exactly how stuff like that goes. Quinn, what about you? Memorable moment?
Well, story-wise, obviously rescuing my friend's daughter Charlotte was a big deal, but I think my personal favorite moment was severing the arm of the Shoanti warrior from Explodey Collodi without the bomb going off.
That was
I was
really
pretty
cool.
happy about that.
Yeah, that was pretty epic. That sword has been just absolutely amazing, and by the time we get to the next session, everyone will start having their magic weapons as well, which is going to be really cool. So we're going to actually start seeing the group, sort of keeping up and standing out a little bit more now. Because the actual magic item stuff in Pathfinder 2nd Edition is actually quite substantially more powerful, in my opinion, than First Edition. That's just my thoughts on it. But yeah, cool. What about yourself, Rykon? Memorable Dante moment? Meanwhile, Druid here that weapons are a tad useless towards. Favorite Dante moment, I'd have to say, is managing to sniff out the meat sellers and find out what they were doing with people meat. Yeah, that whole thing with the all meats market. That was very clutch. That was very cool. I did quite love that little thing here. Plus, you have a lot of recurring enemies that are amounting. So you've got You've got the Van Kaskerkin leader there, who's chasing you down. You've got the Sable Company Marine who you chased off with Triniar. You've got Rolth Lamb and Vrieg, the Necromancer. Do you have any other ongoing enemies that I'm forgetting? Maybe.
Wait,
Well,
I thought we
was
killed
there
Drake.
someone else from the Sable Company that was gonna
Oh, you killed
be
Vrieg.
our nemesis?
Yeah, we killed Vrieg, but the other Sable Company guy that
Yeah, I think we got
They
two
got
people in the
most.
Sable Company who want us.
you got the
Oh,
one.
yeah.
guy
Okay, so I completely forgot that you had that whole thing where you let everyone mob that guy.
It was a
Hey.
terrible misunderstanding.
Yeah, I remember that.
Holly was not there.
I should have
for that.
totally
I'm
made
just
this
pointing
Sable
that out.
Company Marine that
Totally
guy.
were.
Should have totally made him that guy.
That would have been funny.
Would have been funny.
That would have been great.
It's like, you again! Wasn't there a dude on the... Oh, yeah, the Knoll. That's right. Yeah, the Knoll as well. The the guy who started by eating Holly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there as well.
That
So
guy survived.
yeah,
the
so
first
he's
one.
around, you know. Yeah, he's definitely there. So you've got a few people in the city who are enemies. But the cool thing is, and I won't spoil anything here, but the cool thing is this game, this book, adds up all of the friends and enemies you make for the final book. So I'm definitely going to be keeping tabs and keeping track of like all the different like unresolved peeps that are floating around. Because I think it's going to make for an absolutely fantastic final book. With the way you guys are playing it, you're making tons of friends as well, like Charlotte's family and obviously Jackagon and Chris as well.
And a nice adoptive couple that took in all the kids.
Yeah,
They like
you know,
us.
and you know, like, hey, if this game goes several years in the making, all those kids could be like adults by the time you know get to it.
Hey, and we got that crazy goblin lawyer.
Yeah, that's right, La Rouge. He's not really
La Rouge.
a lawyer, just a goblin.
Well,
Yeah. Anyway.
he can be a lawyer at need. He can be whatever, right? Con man lawyer.
Con man, that's probably a better way to say it. But yeah, you know, so you've got lots of little things there. Jack of all trades, yes, a La Rouge of all trades. Actually, you know what? He should be a Jacques of all trades, because he's French.
Oh God.
Get it, Dante? Dante, get it? Dante, do you get it? God damn it. All right, guys. Thank you again, and we will be back next week. Yes, we will be back next week, as we will be doing part 2, which we're going to be starting, called 7 Days to the Grave. This is going to be awesome. This is going to have just a ton of cool, fun, and wicked things. And Holly is going to get into a lot of trouble, which I'm not going to talk about because I feel like it's easier to tease that.
Oh God. Really?
Yes.
I was gonna get eaten again.
Elsa Puck a liar call.
Oh yeah, or else the Puck a liar call.
Yeah,
You
Puck
just-
hasn't shown up yet.
Yet is the operative word here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go and raid. Who are we going to go and raid? Let's raid. D4 RPG. Let's go raid these guys. D4 RPG, great and wonderful TTRPG community. They are some great role players, and they do some awesome stuff. So go check them out. Be sure to throw in all of our really cool raid emotes. And what am I here next? I'll probably be here either tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest. So as always, hey, give us a follow. Come check out all the stuff we do. It was so good hanging out with everyone. And till we meet again, as always, from us to you, game hard or die trying. Bye, everyone.